Hello everyone. Before I start this video, I'd like to inform you that I identify as a magic unicorn, and my preferred pronoun is His Royal Majesty the Emperor of Narnia. I expect you all to conform your actions to my chosen identity. Hello everyone, this is My Two Cents, and today I'm going to be reviewing a video made by a woman, or a man, or maybe she's one of those non-conforming gender binary things, or you know what, I don't know what the heck she is. Today I'm going to be reviewing a video about race made by some freak entity named Lindsay over at the channel Queer Kids Stuff. Taking a look at her channel, Lindsay appears to be fully committed to indoctrinating children with a whole load of garbage that stands completely contrary to reality. Further, it's stuff that kids, mind you, should not have to worry about. When I was a kid, my biggest concerns in life were, when is the latest episode of Pokemon going to be on TV? Or do I have time to play baseball with the neighbor kids before dinner? I didn't know anything about race relations or LGBTQ ZYZ issues or heck any political issues, nor did I need to. That's stuff you can worry about when you grow up. Lindsay wants to create an army of brainwashed zombies who don't know how to do anything but listen to the orders of their totalitarian rulers. Duh, communism. Duh, white privilege. Duh, Donald Trump is Hitler. Kids should be learning how to think, not what to think. This generation is full of morons who can scream their opinions until they're blue in the face, but they couldn't begin to make a coherent argument if their life depended on it. That being said, parents, if you happen to be watching this video and your kids are with you, send them out to play. They don't need to concern themselves with what we'll be talking about. But then I could rant all day. Let's get into it.
Hey there, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Teddy.
Welcome
to Queer Kids
Queer
Stuff.
Kids Stuff. Today, we're talking about race.
Queer Kid Stuff. You are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff.
Welcome to another episode in our series on privilege. Today, we're talking about something called race. You ready, Teddy?
Ready, set, go!
Oh, no, Teddy, not that kind of race.
Huh?
I'm going to explain everything, Teddy, but I'm going to need a little help on this one.
Why?
Well, to be completely honest with you, Teddy, I have a lot of privilege when it comes to race.
Oh, really, Lindsay? Exactly what privileges do you have that non-whites don't? This ought to be good.
Why?
Because of my skin color. I'm white.
I think you look more peach.
Well, you see, Teddy, Lindsay has chosen to identify as white. But you do raise a valid point. Why doesn't she just identify as pink in order to check her white privilege?
Sure, Teddy, but most people call my skin color white.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, not everything always makes perfect sense.
Well, there's something we can agree upon, Lindsay. Nothing you say makes a lick of sense.
I think it's time you met my friend Kira. She's going to help us figure all of this out about race.
Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Teddy.
Hi, Kira.
Hi, Kira. Thanks for helping me out with this one, Kira.
Oh, absolutely.
Kira.
What's up, Teddy?
Can I ask you two really important questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. What are your pronouns and how do you identify?
Teddy, don't you have eyes? Can't you see who I am or what I am? Isn't it obvious? The fact that you would even have to ask me what my pronouns are is offensive. But then, if you didn't ask and you got them wrong, well, that would be offensive too. This is retarded, people. There are only two genders. Don't like it? Take it up with God.
I use she, her, and I identify as a queer woman.
And I identify as a magic unicorn. My preferred gender pronoun is His Royal Majesty, the Emperor of Narnia. Don't you forget it.
Awesome.
So, Kira, today I wanted to talk about race with Teddy.
Great. Well, let's get into it. It is a very important idea for you to understand, Teddy.
I want to learn.
Actually, I don't think it's all that important that kids understand race. When I was a kid, I don't recall needing any more of an explanation than some people look different because of where their ancestors came from. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I got back to playing and enjoying my childhood. I mean, even if race were as drastically important as you think it is, you really think kids should be worrying about race at this point in their life? Kids should be worrying about learning to read and count and doing their chores, not frigging race.
Okay, well, first off, do you understand why Lindsay asked me to help her out with this conversation?
Lindsay told me it's because she's white and has privilege.
That's right. Lindsay and I are different races. Race has to do with a lot of different things, but one way you can sometimes tell what race someone is by their skin color. My skin is darker than Lindsay's. That's part of what makes us different races.
People who have my skin color are usually called white, like I said before.
And people of my skin color are usually called black.
Okay, so race is skin color and you're black or white.
But what if I'm transracial, like Rachel Dolezal? How dare you identify me by my biological race and not my identified race, you close-minded bigot?
Well, that's not really the whole story. There's a lot more to it than just skin color, and there are a lot more races than black and white.
Race has to do with so much more than just skin color. It has to do with where your family comes from. It's hard to say exactly where my family is from because a long time ago, black people were brought here to America without their consent. But I know they're from somewhere in Africa.
And I'm sure you've been suffering every day of your life exactly like your ancestors did on those plantations. You ever talk about the fact that it was other black people kidnapping and selling black people to those slave traders? Does that bother you at all?
What about your family, Lindsay?
So my family is white, and my great-great-great-great-grandparents all came from different parts of Europe to America.
Race has to do with where your family is originally from in the world and the history that comes along with that.
I wonder where I came from.
That's a great thing to talk about with your grown-ups. You should talk to your grown-ups about where your family came from and listen to the stories they have to tell about your family history.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with telling kids about your family history, but do you really think it's super important for like 5- and 6-year-olds to know about all the different ways their ancestors were oppressed?
It's important to understand your family history, the history of your race, and of other people's races, because that's where privilege comes in. Because some races have been treated unfairly in the past and are still treated unfairly today.
Yeah, and who do we have to blame for that? That beloved Democratic Party that I'm guessing you support? The one responsible for the KKK and Jim Crow?
Kira, we've talked a lot about how to be a good ally.
That's great. It's important to be a good ally to people of other races, especially if you're white like Lindsay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm guessing if Kira had her way, every white person would be required to bow to every black person they met, acknowledge their white privilege, and then pay them tribute with half of what's in their wallet. Would that satisfy you?
I try to be a good ally to people who are not white. People who are not white are usually called people of color.
Kira, I want to be a good ally. What's something you want us all to know about being a good ally?
Oh, there are so many things, but one way to be a good ally to people of other races is to respect them.
Oh, respect them. You mean like judging them based on what they do and not what race they are, or requiring that they meet the same standards of merit as everyone else when it comes to going to school or employment, or holding them accountable for their own actions when they break the law. Things like that, right? Is that what you mean by respecting them?
That's one of the things you have to do to be a good ally.
Absolutely. So here's just one example. Something that's disrespectful to me is when people touch my hair.
Oh, for goodness sake, the hair touching thing. If people try and touch your hair without your permission, tell them to screw off. It's not that hard.
It's something that happens to me a lot, and it happens to a lot of other people of color because our hair looks different from white people's.
I have a hard time believing that this chick actually walks around and just has hundreds of people walking up to her and touching her hair without her permission. This probably happened like 1 or 2 times, and now she acts like it's something she suffers from every day. Just tell them to screw off.
But it's disrespectful to touch my hair without my permission. Would you like it if somebody touched your fur without asking first, Teddy?
No, I don't. They shouldn't touch my fur without my consent. Right, Lindsay?
That's right, Teddy.
It's really disrespectful and hurtful when people touch my hair.
That does.
Wah, wah. People touch my hair without my permission. Wah. This is just as bad as being enslaved and being lynched. Wah. It's so unfair that I have to live in a world where random people touch my hair. Wah. This is so oppressive and it just makes me want to kill myself. Wah.
Doesn't sound like a very nice thing to do.
It's not. So one way you can be a good ally to black people like me is to treat me with
There are
respect.
so many ways to be a good ally to everyone.
You are so good at this, Teddy. I am so impressed.
Thank you, Kira. I've been learning so much.
And now you know just a little bit more.
Thanks so much for helping us out with this one, Kira.
Thank you.
Of course. You're very welcome. Bye.
Bye.
I'm so glad I met Kira, Lindsay.
Me too. I've learned so much from Kira. I'm really glad she could help us out with this one. Thank you so much for watching Queer Kids Stuff. We'll be looking at different parts of privilege over the next 4 episodes, and I'll be bringing in more special guests to help us out.
Whoa.
If you have any questions about privilege or race, you can...
Yeah, Lindsay, actually I do have a question. You didn't exactly say what privileges you have that Kira doesn't, or was I supposed to infer that you have the privilege of people not wanting to touch your hair all the time? Well, I mean, your hair does look kind of gross. Maybe if you give Kira some lessons in hairstyle, it will solve her problem.
Always ask your grown-up. A huge thank you to our supporters over at Patreon. They're the best. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos every other Wednesday for season 2 episodes. And that's it from me and Teddy. We'll see you next time at Queer Kids Stuff.
Queer Kids Stuff.
Well, that's it. You know, if I ever became a parent, I don't think I would want my kids running into this kind of stuff before they're old enough. That being said, there's a link in the description to a petition to YouTube that Queer Kids Stuff should be age restricted. Thanks to Mike the Cat and Listen to Reason for pointing this out in their latest video. If you agree with me that Lindsay's trash is inappropriate for kids, please consider signing it. God knows if I created a channel called Straight Kids Stuff, it would probably be banned completely. Maybe I should do that. Straight Kids Stuff, where we don't care about your feelings.
Hey Pikachu, sometimes I feel like I'm a rabbit. Well, Bear, unfortunately you're still a bear. Your feelings don't change reality. I don't like that. Well, tough. That's the way it is. Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. If you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe. To follow me on Twitter, minds.com, or VidMe, check out the links in the description.